Few public figures acquitted themselves more memorably during the Brett Kavanaugh nomination saga than Senator Susan Collins of Maine. She didn't stage a public therapy session like Jeff Flake did or embarrass herself. Instead, at the critical moment, she delivered not so much a defense of Brett Kavanaugh, but a defense of the presumption of innocence and basic fairness, bedrock American institutions. For doing that, the left, which long liked her, now despises her and wants to see her punished. Close to 1,500 alumni and faculty of St. Lawrence University in upstate New York are demanding that their school rescind an honorary degree that Collins once got. They say that Collins, quote, lacks integrity for the crime of failing to automatically believe Christine Ford. Monica Klein is a founding partner at Seneca Strategies, and she joins us tonight. Monica, thanks a lot for coming on.
Of course.
So I'm a little confused by this. So the idea is, if you don't agree with me, this group is saying, on the Christine Ford Brett Kavanaugh question, then you, quote, lack integrity? I mean, I know a lot of decent people, including a lot of women, who found themselves agreeing with Brett Kavanaugh. Do they lack integrity for that?
Look, there is a 30% gap in voters of women versus men that now are supporting Democrats because of what the Republicans did with Kavanaugh. Susan Collins does lack integrity. She lacks integrity because she voted to support the nomination of a Supreme Court justice who is clearly a sexual predator. She didn't believe Christine Blasey Ford, despite the fact that she was incredibly credible, and she didn't support a real FBI investigation. Instead, it was just 1 week, and they refused to listen to half of the people who tried to come forward. I think it's completely legitimate that 1,500 people come forward and said that they don't support her having an honorary degree. The school itself said that they're not taking it away. So it's,
let me ask you, though. Hold on. I'm trying to get to a more core question than just an honorary degree from a school whose honorary degree you might not want to have anyway. But the question is it a question of integrity to reach a different conclusion? So you're saying that a decent person could not disagree with you. That's what you appear to be saying, and what you appear to believe.
A decent person would believe Christine Blasey Ford because she was extremely credible, and Kavanaugh came across like an 8th grader. I don't think anyone truly believes that Kavanaugh did nothing to Christine Blasey Ford. I think Susan Collins herself is kidding herself, and she made a calculated decision to support the Republicans.
Do you sincerely believe? I mean, what you're doing is offering a window into kind of a worldview that I think a lot of people might find chilling, a worldview that doesn't allow for honest disagreement, a worldview that honestly believes that anyone who disagrees is a bad person.
I'm not saying put her in jail. We're saying they can take away her honorary degree if they want. And the college itself said that they're not taking it away, so what's the problem?
I don't think you're following this. Look, I don't care about the degree or the school. Who'd want an honorary degree? What I care about is whether we allow for the possibility that people who disagree with us are good people who have integrity, but who are reaching different conclusions from ours. And you, like a lot of the robots I deal with on the left, seem to have decided this is a theological debate where the other side is evil and you're virtuous. And I'm just giving you one more chance to explain that that's not true.
Did I say that Susan Collins was evil?
You said she lacked integrity. She was a bad person. She had no integrity, which is the core of human goodness.
I said she lacks integrity. I believe that. She voted for a Supreme Court nominee who's a clear sexual predator without allowing for a real investigation. I think that lacks integrity.
But these are subjective. Who taught you this? Like, where did you? Was there a time in your life when you believed that, like, decent people with integrity could disagree? When did you change? I'm asking that.
Why can't you just disagree with me on this? I think that she lacks integrity, and you don't.
No, but you're missing it. I can disagree with you. I don't think you lack integrity for having a different view than I. You think anyone who disagrees with you, I guess including me.
Maybe we just disagree on the word integrity. I don't think she has it.
Integrity means honesty. Decency?
I don't think she has honesty or decency. I don't think Brett Kavanaugh does either, and I think it's ridiculous that she confirmed him for the Supreme Court. And I think she will be voted out because women are extremely frustrated with Susan Collins right now because she supported a sexual predator.
Not every woman feels that way, and you don't speak for all women, just so you know.
Okay, thank you for mansplaining that to me.
I'm not mansplaining. I'm saying something that's obviously true.
There is a 30% gap in between Democrats and Republicans. The fact that women are supporting Democrats 30% more because the Republican Party is offending women.
I just don't think people disagree with. Okay. Thanks a lot, Monica. Good to see you tonight.
Nice to talk to you.
Tammy Bruce is a radio host and president of Independent Women's Voice, and she joins us tonight. I'm not going to, quote, mansplain any of this to you, Tammy.
No,
whatever that means. I mean, I guess what bothers me here is what I just said bothered me, which is the idea that you see all the time on the left that if you disagree, you must be a bad person. That's a Stalinist assumption. It's scary. I can't believe people who believe that live in this country. What is this?
Yeah, look, and her explanation also changed during the interview. I mean, the fact is, she was saying that Susan Collins was evil because Susan Collins was clearly supporting a sexual predator. And if you knowingly support a sexual predator, then you're evil. And then, ironically, though, Tucker, she then complains that why can't we just disagree? That's your point. That's exactly your point in this segment. Exactly, some of us just simply will have a different point of view in what's going on, and yet what the left is doing, whether they clothe themselves as feminists or not, is pushing the argument that if you disagree with them, something is inherently wrong with you. It's like Kanye West being declared as mentally ill, that if you disagree with her point of view, you're evil or you support things that are horrible for society. This is what they need to move, because they can't have arguments with us based on the details of the issues. And your exchange with her prove that, and I hope Americans are watching.
How do we get here, though? So if you're dealing with people who honestly think that they are saved and you are fallen, they are virtuous, you are sinful, there's no possibility of agreement, is there?
Well, there isn't. And you notice, of course, that this is, of course, hopefully for modern religion, they've moved away from that. But this is very middle-age religion-like for the left. This is a middle-age framework where people were burned at the stake, where heads were cut off, where if you moved a little bit away from the orthodoxy, you were going to be declared a heathen or something else. This is now turning into a religion. And there is no room for any kind of movement about in any kind of differences or differences of opinion or point of view. But we live in a modern age which recognizes faith and the importance of that and the importance of us having our opinions. But in the free world and in a republic and in democracy in the 21st century, especially in America, we pride ourselves in the fact that we can have disagreements, that we will not punish people for not conforming. And that has been a hallmark of the American liberal sensibility of which all Americans hold on to. And this, of course, it's a classic fascist framework. And, of course, our universities, speaking of universities, don't teach history anymore, really. And so these are people who are graduating inculcated in a dynamic that has almost destroyed humanity in the last century.
I don't know how we wound up here, but it's very ominous. If we can't agree that decent people can reach different conclusions, then we're already in a kind of weird theocracy, I think.
Yeah, we are.
Anyway, Tammy, thank you very much.
Thanks, Tucker.